Something happened to my... Good evening, everyone. I call the City Council meeting to order. We have a few folks for the open forum, so we'll start with that. First up, I have Susan Rosenberg. You have approximately 3 minutes, and I do have a timer, so I'll give you a sign.
Rosenberg. I am a member of the Richfield Garden Club, and I live at 6633 Thomas, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about the Richfield Garden Club plant sale. It's that time of year again, and that is going to be this Saturday at the Bartholomew House from 9 until 3. And as I was just telling Jim Tapascatter, that it's the year of the begonia. So there'll be a lot of begonias for sale, and it's a way to beautify your home and beautify your yard. And this is the precursor to the Landscape Awards and the Richfield Beautiful Garden Tour. And this year they're going to be combined. So they're really going to have an interesting tour this year. But this is where you buy your plants, come and buy them, and then make your yard really special. And that's this Saturday. Excuse me?
The date?
The date is Saturday, May 14th, this Saturday, from 9 until 3, and it's at 6901 Lindale. It's the Bartholomew House.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Great announcement. Next, we have Constance Pepin. Would you please come up and announce your name and your address?
Hello, my name is Constance Pepin. I actually am a resident of Minneapolis, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. And I'm here as a naturalist and birder to talk about the band shell that I know you're planning to install in Vets Park. And first, I'd like to just say how much I appreciate Vets Park. I'm a board member of the Friends of Roberts Bird Sanctuary, so I'm very active in the Minneapolis park system with natural conservation and birding issues there. Where there are 2 bird sanctuaries in Minneapolis, and I'm very active in both of them. And I'm here basically to request that as you move forward with your plans for another band shell, that you would really take into consideration the importance of that area, especially the east and the southeast sides there that are natural areas. And I'm sure you realize that it's an area of regional significance. In Minneapolis, we have what we call the Chain of Lakes Important Bird Area, which is a designated important bird area at the international level. It includes a lot of the lakes in Minneapolis. And what you have in Richfield is a continuation of that whole important bird area close to the Mississippi Flyway, including Wood Lake Nature Center and Veterans Memorial Park. And I'm sure you're aware that it's a regional asset, as well as for your own residents. And so that's why someone like me would show up at your meeting and express concern that if you do decide to have another band shell, that it would not impact negatively the wildlife that relies on the natural areas that you currently have in Veterans Memorial Park. And I think you have kind of the best of both worlds here. You have on the west side and southwest side more development and more human activity and more facilities. And in the other areas of the park that are more natural areas, you provide very critical habitat for threatened birds and near threatened birds. And I really urge you to make sure that when you try to find a site for this, that you don't negatively impact the birds, because I know you're all aware that climate change and a lot of diseases are really threatening birds and trees in our natural areas, and so we need to protect them now more than ever, because once they're gone forever. And someone else following me will speak to a letter that I believed you all received from the Audubon chapter of Minneapolis on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Kit Healy, is that how you say it? Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Kit Healy. I also live in Minneapolis. I'm a board member of the Audubon chapter of Minneapolis, and you may wonder why I'm here with the name like Audubon chapter of Minneapolis. We actually represent Greater Hennepin County, including Richfield. We're affiliated with National Audubon Society, so we are an affiliated chapter, National Audubon Society. You all should have received an email version of the letter that we sent to your park director. I think the letter makes some really good arguments for why The proposed ban shell, as the plans exist, is not going to be helpful at all for birds and other wildlife. As Constance Pepin mentioned, you've got this wonderful natural resource there, this undeveloped area of your park, and it seems to me that it would do Richfield residents and other people like me who come to Richfield to do some birding, it would benefit all of us if you were to leave that area in its natural state, to not develop it. If you have to put a ban shell in Veterans Park, we ask that you site it away from the water areas, the wetlands, the open waters. We ask that you not cut down trees. We ask that you put it someplace that's already developed, that already has impervious surfaces, already up against a parking lot, things like that. And again, you should have received a letter, an email version. We sent a hard copy to your park director, and it explains that birds are impacted by what we do. And yes, there's airplane noise, but the additional noise of something from a ban shell, along with the additional crowds of people, along with the additional impervious surfaces, it's all stressing the birds out. And it seems to me needlessly. I don't know that you need a second ban shell to begin with, but setting that issue aside, should you choose to put a ban shell in Veterans Park, again, we're asking that you not site it where it's going to have a negative impact on birds and other wildlife. And again, the letter explains it really well. We've got references. We actually even refer to your Richfield master plan, and your Richfield master plan supports what we, Audubon, are arguing for. I'd also like to mention that there's another Audubon Chapter Minneapolis board member, Martha Allen, who was unable to attend tonight. She is a Richfield resident, so she is someone who lives here, can vote for city council members. She lives over in City Bella, but she was unable to make it tonight. So again, thank you, and if you have any questions, Audubon Chapter Minneapolis, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to give you more information, and thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. We have one more speaker, Steve La Victoria. Please state your name and address.
My name's Steve LaVictoire. I live at 4308 15th Avenue South, Minneapolis. Minneapolis, Hennepin County taxpayer and all that, state taxpayer. Just a few points I'd like to make, even just from the last meeting here. You had a 7-minute discussion on the ban shell. And David Butler came forward again saying he's gonna raise 30 grand. He's never shown the 75 grand allegedly the Richfield Foundation has. He's never shown the 100 grand the Friends of the Ban Shell allegedly has. We saw one little cheesy spreadsheet. I want to see receipts. I want to see cash on the barrelhead, to use an old phrase. So now he's going to raise $30,000 more dollars. It's like all phantom money to me. Show me the money. Really, if you can show me the money, I'll change my tune. I really will. But you've shown no money, and he's going to go get 30,000 more. And will that be enough? He keeps coming back for more. He'll probably say, I raised 10 grand, I need 50 grand more. You know this is how it's played, the game. Also, you didn't discuss anything in that meeting, that 7-minute meeting, of all the problems with the project. So the soil's better, we're gonna dig down 12 feet and we're moving forward. Why do you just ignore them? You didn't mention the Audubon letter, you all received a copy. You didn't mention it, you should have. You had no ban shell supporters at the meeting. You had everyone from us, so you had zero support. The only support you have is yourself, and that is true. And then, here, Pat Elliott's quote, the answer is right in front of you, and you have to quit trying to complicate it in regards to the 77th Street Tunnel. Well, you've complicated this to the nth degree on this ban shell. I have never seen such a complicated, Mickey Mouse, nonsensical approach. You started backwards and are going backwards and backwards, and it's really an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed talking about this because this is so stupid. Mayor Goettel, you told me the Lindale Garden Center was just a cement slab. It's not a $480,000 cement slab. It's an amphitheater. Please partner with them. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. And would everyone please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please stand. Thank you. This week, believe it or not, you see Kristen all dressed up in her yellows there. She's going to do a presentation regarding the National Public Works Week. I'm going to ask for approval of the agenda while you're setting up. So I'll ask the council to approve the minutes of the special city council work session of April 26, 2016, and the regular city council meeting of April 26, 2016.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And it's National Public Works. What's the big theme?
Madam Mayor, council members, thank you. I'm Kristen Asher, Public Works Director. I'm trying to get, the theme this year is Public Works always there, and it's an indication of the pervasiveness of Public Works and how they're always there when you need them. And now I would keep getting this other image from Jeff to keep messing with it, but that's just the poster. Regardless, next week, the third week in May, is always Public Works Week, and this year we're celebrating their pervasiveness, and we have over 50 Public Works workers in Richfield alone that are out there every day when you need them, working hard, these men and women. And so I put this on as an indication of who you might see out there. They're out there in the middle of the winter. They're out there on the holidays if they need be plowing snow. They'll get up in the middle of the night if there's a tree block in your driveway or a tree limb even. So, I mean, it's just an opportunity to say thank you. And we will be having a short video about Public Works Week out on social media and everything next week. So I just want to draw your attention to.
So you
Public
put it in our
Works.
council box too, so we can see it, put a link on it?
Sure, I'll send you a link.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna see it.
Yeah, it's just me talking.
That's okay.
You just pretty much saw it live, so.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we need to publicize the good things that we do around the city. And you know, it's funny because people don't realize what their tax dollars go to until something breaks down, then they go, wow, we didn't realize that was how complicated and how much people take care of things. Next on the agenda is Hats Off to Hometown Hits, and I'm going to start first because we have a special guest here. We have Jeff Schwartz from the Met Council, and he's here to give us an update on what's going on in town. Thank you for coming, Jeff.
Thank you and good evening. And thanks, Kristen. We do appreciate Public Works and being part of the Met Council. We do quite a bit of Public Works, and I apologize for not wearing my yellow vest as well. But I just wanted to give an update on what we've been doing with the project. We've been in Richfield here for several months. We've been, an update basically is what's going on. Monday, we closed down the westbound lane of 66th Street at Humboldt Avenue. We have our traffic controls up over there. We're getting ready to do work in that intersection to replace some manholes and get prepared for doing our lining projects that are continuing. At this point, we're closing up work down on the east side towards Portland Avenue and 11th Avenue. When that work is done, we'll move all of our equipment over towards the west side where we're at Humboldt right now. And we're preparing to do some more shots, more cleaning, more televising of pipes. So what you've been seeing is just continuing from one part of town to the other. This week we'll have one night of overnight work where we'll be doing some lining. The following week we'll have 2 nights of overnight work, and that lining is really the progress. When we get to that point in the overnight work, that means we're done with a large section of the road and we're moving on from there. So the work is progressing very well. We still are planning on being done in January. Next week we'll be moving more towards Humboldt, so the traffic control will be there, but we will be done with the manholes over there, and that westbound lane of Humboldt will be open at the end of next week. So from there, that'll be the end of the following week, and then I'll be back the next meeting to give you an update on the following 2 weeks.
Oh, thank you. We
Appreciate it.
appreciate that. We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate the updates. Any questions from council, anybody?
I just got a comment.
Please.
I'm not sure who did the lovely job at 66 in Columbus with that person's yard, but I want to thank you, and all the neighbors want to thank you. I was pleased when they leveled it better than I've ever seen and put new sod in. I think you kind of won back some neighbors there who were wondering what was going to happen, because I don't want to comment that Excel does a bad job, but they didn't do half the job you guys did, so excellent job there.
They
I
have
appreciate
not done
that.
a good job.
Yeah.
Excel has not. Not the council,
Well, public
Excel.
say they haven't done
I can say
our
that.
expectation.
Yes, and I've heard I've heard about it, so
So thank you for that.
Great, thank
for
you.
being
Pass it on.
concerned about our neighbors, too. I will let Councilmember Fitzhenry go for hats off for hometown hits.
Well, thank you. With our uniformed officers in the audience there, I want to say that Police Week is May 11th through the 17th. And the 15th is traditionally, and will be this year again, Police Memorial Day. So if you see a officer out there, thank them for their service, and just remember these times it's getting tougher for them. And appreciate that day, and kind of think about, you know, we haven't lost any, well, we lost one life in Richfield. We've been very fortunate, but we've had people hurt. But just feel fortunate that they're out there working their best, and remember them that day, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay. Councilmember Howard?
I was just going to mention an event I previewed at our last meeting, the Muslim 101, hosted by, at Richfield Methodist Church, hosted by our Human Rights Commission and put on by the Islamic Research Group. Thank Councilmember Elliott for attending. It was just a great event for folks. I think a lot of the members of the Richfield Methodist Church who were there, and others in the community, to just hear kind of a presentation, an opportunity to learn some basics about Islam and ask good questions. It was just a good opportunity for people in our community to learn from one another. If people have an opportunity to see, I know the Islamic Research Group puts on some of these events, not just in Richfield, but throughout the state. If folks have an opportunity to attend one, I would recommend it, and I just thought it was a great thing for us to do here in Richfield. And then I think someone else mentioned this a few weeks ago, but the pool being open, I know we're excited to bring Calvin to the pool this summer.
Okay.
I think go to livingsocial.com and look and
Yeah,
search
good deal.
Richfield. You can get a good deal. And I think last weekend the weather was a good preview of hopefully what's to come. I think we're getting there
A
weather-wise.
good summer
so,
to go to the
yeah,
pool. Well, that and the farmer's market's coming soon.
absolutely.
I know.
Ooh,
Oh,
New umbrellas.
at the pool. I'm loving
get
it.
ready.
All right, okay. Councilmember Garcia.
Okay, these are just reminders. We've got the citywide garage sale, which is the 19th of May to the 21st. So hopefully we can all get out there and stop and visit with our neighbors and, you know, maybe buy one or two little trinkets or whatever. So let's try to do that. I think it talks about community when you have this citywide.
I think so.
And, and people are, in the summertime, everybody's feeling so good and so, you can just really have a good visit with folks. And then the farmer's market will open on the 21st. And then I know we have the State of the City address coming up, and I've got that the presentation by the mayor will be at 8:30 in this chamber, but I didn't put the date down.
19th,
Oh, the 19th of May. Okay, so
Thursday.
anyway, so we will certainly look forward to that.
Yeah, think it'll be something. And this year, I didn't come up with a theme, it was the staff. So, you'll find out.
Yeah,
It's the
good.
I'm not giving away the spoiler. Councilmember Elliott.
Not much. First of all, on the new umbrellas, Jim, make sure they're anchored properly. I had a lawsuit where one blew away and hurt someone, so make sure they're anchored, okay? Well, I can show you how to do it the right way. I was going to say the seminar that Councilmember Howard and I went to was from my perspective, enlightening. I think we read a little bit, we hear a little bit about various religions and everything. We assume we know all about it. And I think that there were some elements of how it's practiced and how their deities are set up and everything that was surprising to me, in the sense that the nomenclature, the names, the presentation and everything is not dissimilar to Catholicism, which I found very interesting. And I think what I found really interesting is the presenters basically said there really is no hate or no evil in any particular theology or religion. Sometimes a culture will warp it or turn it into something it's not, and be used to interpret the world the way they want it to be, not the way it is. And instead of following the theocracy and the leadership of the religion, they take and warp it to their own means and their own benefit. And I think we need to be really careful about assigning fault or guilt or animosity towards a religion when the religion is never bad. It's the manner in which some people practice it. So I think we need to be real cautious in forming opinions about any religion. We certainly can form opinions about how certain people practice it, but that's a different game. It's cultural. It's not theocracy. And remember that when you start forming opinions or when you start feeling hatred or animosity towards a religion, because that's not the target and never should be.
Thanks. Good advice. Very interesting.
Did they tape it, do you know?
I don't know.
I don't believe so, but I can find out, yeah.
Oh, that would have been nice because I wasn't able to
Yeah.
attend. I would have loved to have seen that, though.
But thanks, that's
Yeah, thanks
you
for
know,
letting us
for-
know. Maybe we'll do another
for
one.
reminding
Was it
us, you know,
successful? A
about-
lot of
Yeah,
Right.
people showed
the
up.
good turnout.
importance.
Okay, that'd be nice to do that.
Mm.
Okay, I'll ask the approval of the agenda as it stands.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have the approval of the agenda. We're moving on to the consent calendar. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. The consent calendar contains several separate items which are acted upon by the City Council in one motion. And once the consent calendar has been approved, all the individual items and the recommended actions will also have been approved, and no further council action on those items is necessary. Tonight we have a fairly long consent agenda, and it starts out with item A, consideration of the approval of a resolution authorizing the city to affirm the monetary limits on statutory municipal tort liability. Item B is consideration of the approval of a request for a temporary on-sale intoxicating liquor license for the Minneapolis Richfield American Legion Post 435 located at 6501 Portland Avenue South for their Bike Night Out event scheduled to take place on June 15th, 2016. Item C is consideration of the approval of a request for a new therapeutic massage enterprise license for Lily and the Lotus Massage and Bodywork, LLC, located at 1300 66th Street East, number 102. Item D, consideration of the approval of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, or BCA, Master Joint Powers Agreement with the Richfield Department of Public Safety Police Division for access to the Criminal Justice Data Communications Network and the Court Data Services Subscriber Amendment to that Criminal Justice Data Communications Network Subscriber Agreement. Item E is consideration of the approval of a resolution approving a BCA Joint Powers Agreement with the City of Richfield's prosecuting attorney for access to the Criminal Justice Data Communications Network. And finally, item F, consideration of the approval of two resolutions supporting grant applications to the Hennepin County Environmental Response Fund for contamination cleanup at the Lindale Gardens project site. And that concludes tonight's consent calendar.
I'll move the calendar.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have, the next item is proposed ordinance number 6. This is consideration of a second reading of an ordinance amending the City Code Subsection 710.29 related to the water use restrictions and the resolution authorizing summary publication. The executive summary is much shortened because we made some decisions last time, so I'll quickly read it. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, DNR, encourages city to implement best practices in water conservation for the metro water supply. The DNR has highlighted minimizing summer peak demand on the water supply as the best practice for conservation, which includes prohibiting water irrigation during the day between approximately 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., which promotes effective watering habits and reduces water loss due to evaporation, and requiring a rain sensor device on newly installed or modified automatic or underground sprinkler systems so systems do not needlessly run during periods of rain. Staff will notify residents through water bill inserts and social media posts. A website will also be published on the city's website outlining these new measures required for the water conservation. So at this time, I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of the ordinance amending the City Code Subsection 710.29 related to the water use restrictions and approve the resolution authorizing summary publication of an ordinance amendment to the subsection 710.29 of the Richfield City Code pertaining to water use restrictions.
Second.
We need further discussion, question?
Well,
Councilmember?
yeah, I did have an email, and one person asked about washing their car and all that. I don't know if anybody else got that email, but I kind of referred to them that this is only really lawns.
Yep.
Now, we talked about watering gardens and stuff like that, and also, I'm wondering with the construction and then putting down all the new sod and that, is there a waiver for them if they have to? I don't know if they need to water them between 11 and 4, but there's one concern, especially 66 in Columbus, after I went over and looked at it, whether they're allowed to water their new sod, which is going to need a lot of water in that, and if there's any waiver for like new construction or that type of deal. So
Yeah, Mayor, Councilmember Fitzhenry, yes, there is. The new establishing a new lawn or new sod is exempt from the regulation.
okay, thank you for bringing that up. So
Councilmember?
Gardens are too, yeah.
And
Any potted plants or gardens are as well.
okay.
My question was just sort of timing or of when this will go into effect and kind of the enforcement piece of it. Do we sort of provide some time for people to learn about this and promote it and that, you know?
Right. Well, Mary.
Madam Mayor, Councilmember Howard, the ordinance, once it's published, it'll be effective within 30 days.
Okay,
So it will be, I guess,
We have
mid-June.
yeah.
okay.
So we have public safety here, and just as a rule of practice, the city has used a lot of these instances when they see a violation to educate people, not to cite people.
Yep.
That has been our first, and most people are just, it's knowledge base, so, and that's how the city does it, friendly, try to be friendly. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. City managers report.
Actually, Madam Mayor, members of the council, I really don't have a city manager report.
Item 8, Edwina,
Thank you. I will move claims and payroll.
second. She insisted on having it.
No, I didn't,
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Seeing no further items, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good meeting.
Very well done.
Weena, you just wanted a headshot all your own, didn't you?
Yeah.